content creator Claudine Francois and the founder of In Good Clean Taste. I am dedicated to helping women entrepreneurs design a healthy lifestyle by incorporating healthy, delicious tools, tips, and resources that empower their inner and outer game. Every episode, my featured guest and I share our healthy, delicious lifestyle journey on my globally recognized show, Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Hello and welcome to Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine. Thank you so much for being here. I am content creator and functional medicine practitioner, Claudine Francois. And if your health is suffering and you've run all the tests only to be told everything is normal, I would like to be of service. I am currently offering a complimentary session to decode those lab results and show you what you can do to take action. So get the link in the scroll below, or I will put it in the comments. Now, I am so excited for today's show. It is how to cultivate lasting business relationships for mental well-being with strategic engagement expert Jamie Shibley. I am so excited to bring out today's guest. She has such a great mission and she is such a giver to the business and entrepreneurial community. I'm going to bring her up from the green room in just a minute, but let me tell you a little bit about her first. Jamie Shibley is the CEO of The Expressory, a strategic engagement agency that believes the key to accelerating your business growth and profitability in the post-COVID era will rely on your ability to maintain personal connections to build stronger emotional loyalty in your business relationships. I would say that was absolutely true. And I am going to welcome Jamie up now. Hi, Jamie. So good to see
Hello.
you.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to talk about this because if we were talking right before we started the show that like I felt like after COVID, it was a different world out there. Like it was hard to get back into the connecting with people because we had spent it's almost like we were in hibernation, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's something too, it was like we were rewired, right? Like so many of us got used to, all right, this is my bubble, this is what I do, I don't have to leave. And now there's this feeling like, well, wait a minute. I could have all these meetings, I didn't have to leave. I want to go outside.
Right.
Some people are still trying to get that wiring back in place.
Yeah, right. Like I don't have to do the back of my hair ever. I don't really even need to wear pants.
Right. This is
Just
great.
need to know.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Well, I'm going to start by asking you what I ask all of my guests, and that is, what does a healthy, delicious lifestyle mean to you?
Well, I think to me, along with the basics of making sure that I'm eating well, I'm exercising and physically in good health, I believe very strongly there's something to your mental well-being. And that means taking time for myself, um, and really connecting with those in my circle.
Mm,
Family, obviously, friends, and then those we're trying to build relationships with that support me in business. So it's all encompassing to me.
that is so good. And you touch on something that's really key, which I think is having positive relationships in our lives, whether it's business, personal, I mean, all of them, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they can bring us so much joy. I'll use this woo-woo term. They can raise our energy, right? Um,
yeah,
and they can just having those positive relationships, having those people to support you and lift you up, it can just really round out your life and make it so much sweeter, so much more than it would
yeah.
be without those.
Well, you use the word energy, right? Eh, and you know it. We all know it because you can feel it when you're around a person who isn't good for you. You feel
Mhm.
drained and exhausted. And I think our younger generation uses the word toxic a lot. But you know what I mean? It's like there really is something to it, and it's not healthy. So
Mhm.
watching out and putting more of that positive, being that example, right? Being positive, putting more of that out there, I think you start to attract like.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's such a powerful reminder because I was just speaking to a client about this yesterday. A lot of my clients have been in high stress situations, and so they have forgotten how to find the joy And so I
Yeah.
asked one of my clients, I'm like, what can you do that brings you joy? And she said, I really love spending time with, and she named a couple of people. And I said, do that. Spend more time with them. If
Mhm.
you need that positive, joyful energy back in your life to start rebuilding your health because it makes such a difference.
Yes. Yes, rebuilding your health. That's a great way to say it. Yeah.
Mhm. And I know we're
Yeah.
going to get into this. So let's
I
talk about
know.
your first tip because you have so much goodness here. So, your first tip is in today's highly digital and virtual world, it's important to our mental well being to maintain personal level relationships, even in business. And I don't know that a lot of people necessarily connect our mental well being and relationships and our health. Can you explain
Yeah.
how they all come together for you?
Yeah. Well, think about it. We are living in a time where technology is changing faster and faster every day, right? And so as we become more remote and virtual and, AI, everything's AI generated. We are very surface level. We're always on. The communication is changing. And that's not who we were meant to be as human beings. At our core, we are meant to belong to community, right? To be seen, to be heard. Okay. So the more digital that even work is, the less we relate to one another. And the inability to relate is what is causing this like social disconnection. And you can see that in things like the increase in anxiety, the increase in suicide rates, the Surgeon General releasing the report that we're in an epidemic of loneliness. One out of two of us suffer from loneliness in the United States.
Mm.
And I truly believe that um, we can start to reverse this by simply being intentional about being more human, relating and connecting at a more personal level. And this is where businesses can start to make a difference by being intentional about that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There are like so many little light bulbs
I
in
know.
there, right? So good.
It's a lot.
I love it. Oh my gosh, total healthy,
Yeah.
delicious lifestyle moment. And one of
Yeah.
the things you reminded me of when you said about the loneliness statistics, and I have read about this when it comes to longevity. Right?
Yes.
So
Mhm.
if especially you think about this, especially with the older generations, if they are not connected, if they do not have friends and family around them, and if they do not have a purpose, then their health suffers. And it happens to
Right.
all of us to some degree, right? On some level, if we are not connected, we can suffer more with depression. We can suffer more with
Yeah.
anxiety. Things seem bigger because they're in our heads rather than
Oh,
getting to
yeah.
talk them out with somebody.
Right.
So I
Right.
really want to get to this book that you showed us called The Widest Net. Now tell us what you like about this book and how it relates to what we're talking about.
Well, so in our work with the Expressory, we are working with business leaders to help them maintain those personal connections with the people that support their business. And what I loved about Pamela's book is that she teaches this business ecosystem, which is one of the categories we also use when it comes to who you should be intentionally nurturing. And what Pamela says is that every business has this ecosystem where um, the people they are courting in business, where there are already established communities of
Mm,
these people that exist. And if you can reach out to the circles where your market is already playing, we'll say, you have a better opportunity of connecting with those people. And so if you
mm,
think about in business trying to get to more of the personal level using this ecosystem, like what associations are your business, your clients, or your strategic partners part of, and how can you put yourself in those spaces and start to develop those relationships. And I will tell you that once you do, and I think you know this too, being in business, once you start surrounding yourself with people like that and forming that relationship, there's something to the energy. It raises you up, right? Like your
mm.
success. So I like Pamela's the process she and how she describes it because it helps you become very intentional about it.
Oh, that's such a great point. I love what you said. Surrounding yourself with people that are going to raise this is the word I was looking for. Raise your vibration. This is the woo-woo word.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Right,
Definitely raise your
right.
vibration. Awesome. Well, I want to get to your next tip because you have so many good ones. And I want to make sure we have time for them all. So, create a habit or practice of looking for things to acknowledge, validate, or celebrate in the people you are connected with. What does that look like, creating a habit or practice for things to acknowledge? Tell us more.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and so a lot of the people we work with, they might be good at, oh, well, I'm always sending birthday messages, or I welcome my clients or the people that I begin to work with. And you usually find that like you're good at one thing, but what we're usually missing is the consistency of watching for more opportunities. I read a study, there was a social scientist who set out to understand what makes some relationships last and what makes others fizzle out. And what he found
Mm,
is that people need three things to be in a relationship with you. They need to know that you understand them, they need to feel validated by you, and three, they need to know you care. And so when I say create a practice of watching for things in your business life, what I mean is that the people that you have relationships with that surround you in business have a world of their own. And I want you to look for moments where you can validate and celebrate, acknowledge what's happening for them, right?
mm,
What milestone did they just achieve? Did they just have something happen in their personal life, like a new house or baby or marriage? Like when you can show up for someone and celebrate the things that are important to them, you're validating that you see them where they are. And isn't that what we all want? And at the same time, you are showing them you care. They're not just another number in your database.
mm.
So those are the things I'm suggesting we watch for and we be very intentional about.
Yeah, like if there's an article that I read that reminds me of someone, I read a lot of things, so I tend to send a lot of
Yes,
articles.
it's
And
great.
I had a girlfriend recently, she posted something about an illness she had, and I reached out to her and I was like, "Listen, you've had this is like your third illness in a row. So I'm really worried about you. I would love to help." I asked her to send me her test results, her lab tests,
Yeah,
so that I could look at them from a functional medicine perspective. And we had a great conversation about what I was seeing because, the doctors are looking in this really wide range and they're looking for you to be outside this wide range before they can intervene because they're looking to
right.
diagnose you. But in between where you're feeling like crap and you get diagnosed, there's a whole opportunity for healing there where you can start
Good.
to reverse the symptoms. That
Yeah,
conversation, I hear what you're saying because I didn't really think about it at the time. I was just, like, "I'm worried about you." But later,
yeah,
a friend of mine said, she what you did is you touched on something that's going on in her life. You were genuinely concerned. You reached out, and it ended up being great for her, and it was exciting for me because 'cause I'm a geek and I love looking at
yeah.
labs. That's what
But you
happens when
can't. But you cared. It wasn't like you were trying to get money out of her. You were
Right.
like, you know what I mean? You were showcasing, you saw what was happening with her and you
Mhm.
expressed your care, and that was your way to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's wonderful.
Well, and I bring that up only to say that I think everyone has a unique point of view and a unique talent that they probably don't even realize can be beneficial to someone. I mean, there are certain things
Yeah.
that people can do. Like some people are great with words. We know someone who's great with words. One of your employees is fantastic with words, and she can
Yes.
just write something amazing super fast. And I'm like, that would have taken me 3 years and not sounded as great. you know,
I
but to her,
love
it's so
that.
natural.
Yeah. Yep.
So I love it.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my gosh. And you had mentioned, I have the book here. I'm not even gonna bring a picture. I'm gonna bring it in screen. So Sell with
Yes.
Authority, which unfortunately is showing backwards on my screen right now.
I know. I
Here, I'll show
know.
it here. Sell with
There you go.
Authority. And I have been reading this. I love it. I don't know if you can see all my like little sticky notes and highlights that I put in it.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Tell us what you love about this book and why
Oh
you
my
recommend it. Because
gosh.
you actually sent me this
I
copy. You were
know.
very sweet and sent this to
Oh.
me.
Yes. Well, and they're very generous. They do give their books away so people know. But this book, I know it says it's for agency owners, but there's so many things you can learn. They speak the same language, right? They are all about how can you be generous to the people in your circle that you're trying to create a relationship with. And a lot of the times,
Mhm.
eventually that moves to business. Because when you are generous with, like you said, what you know, what you're an expert in, you read an article and you're thinking of someone, that is a gift. That's a gift. And you're showing them, I understand what you're working. Like me sending you that book, I understood you were currently working on um, creating, I think it was designing like prospecting and stuff like that, and this book could help, right? So when you do that for people, you develop a stronger bond because they
Mhm.
understand you get them. you know
True.
so this book I just love on so many levels. It's going to walk you through how to identify the right fit clients for you, all the way down to creating your own plan for courting them, for nurturing them, that talks to this generosity with your thought leadership and how you can
Mhm.
get in front of them. So that's why that one's important to me.
It's super good, and I'm really enjoying it, though, so thank you for sending it to
Good.
me.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so good. Alright, so I wanted to add a tip to our conversation, which is that and it goes into what we were saying, which is sending little notes, voice message, or gifts keeps you connected, and I am everyone has a love language, right? I
Yes.
am totally a gift giver, so this one
Me
resonates with
too.
me. As a matter of fact, you have a bunch of my water bottles,
Which
so this
we
is
love.
oh my gosh. So I bought a bunch of them. I sent them to you all, and
Yeah,
every time I have a new client, you send them a beautiful box. I wish I had one here
I
to
know.
show, but you have a beautiful box that you send to them with a note
Right.
from me and my water bottles and a couple other things. And people absolutely love it. I had a client reach
Good.
out not like 2 weeks ago who just said she sent me a picture of all the little things she got, and she's like, "Thank you so much. These are so cute."
Yay.
And I absolutely love them. I'm gonna put it right here where it goes.
Okay. Yep. Yep. I noticed
Um,
that bottle.
but
Mhm.
people appreciate it that they're thinking of you. And just today, I mean,
Just
I
because.
know we're nowhere near the holidays, but
Right.
one of your
Oh,
employees
yeah.
sent me a message. She's like, start thinking about the holidays. And I was like, oh, these are some really cute things. And because I'm a gift giver and because y'all make it easy, right? Because
Yeah,
you always
thank
have all
you.
these great ideas. Like, I don't even have to think about,
Right.
right?
That's what we want. That's exactly what we want.
But I think sending little notes, like kind of like we talked about, if I'm reading an article, if I'm thinking of someone, I'll send them a note, I'll send them a voice message. And the gifts, they really do help. Some people like cards.
Yeah.
I will often send handwritten cards because I think that that's really rare to get a. And
Mhm.
I know when I get handwritten cards, you're like, "Ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
This isn't a mailer.
Y
It's
you
somebody
can pull
actually
it
wrote."
right out. Right. Yep.
And they say that unlike email, handwritten mailed cards have 100% delivery rate, right?
I
Like, kind of
bet.
the
Yes.
open rate.
Yes. Well, and what your example, how the people reach back out to you, they took a picture. That the engagement you just got out of that, what people should understand is it only opens up more doors. Because she sent you that, that was an opportunity to ask other questions. "Oh my god, thank you for the picture. How are you doing, blah blah blah." And it opens up, what is she struggling with some more? You know, and you're front of her mind, so she may have just been talking with somebody, so she could have referred you somewhere. So it's this like I don't want to say cyclical. It starts to just spiral. That's the word I'm looking for. It
Mm,
spirals for you. There's momentum in all of
mhm.
those conversations and the engagement you're earning.
Like an avalanche.
It right, in a positive way. So
Yeah.
someone said to me yesterday, "What you do is aggressively human." I'm like, "Oh, I love that." Aggressively. Who else is? I don't know.
I wanna be aggressively it's better than being, like, aggressively Klingon,
Right.
aggressively Vulcan.
Right.
Oh
Right.
my gosh, so good.
Yes.
Alright, so the next thing, that we were talking about was making in-person connections a priority. And we're basically ending where we started, which was in this digital time, it's been so easy just to like set up a Zoom call instead of a coffee date. I actually had someone recently that I met locally say, "Oh, let's meet for a coffee or tea or something." And I was thinking, "Oh, we can meet over Zoom." And then I'm like, "Wait, no. The in-person thing. That's right. We used to do
You.
that."
I know.
It was such a
I
good
know.
reminder, right?
Right, right. Well, and I think too, because think about how busy people have gotten, right? That's a big thing. Everybody's busy. And so it's really easy to say no. No, I'm busy. I got to do this. So therefore, let's do Zoom. It's faster. But what if? Like, what if? Think of the extra benefit.
Well, I feel like it's so much more powerful. We were talking earlier about energy. You really feel someone's energy when you're
Yeah.
with them
Yeah.
versus when you're on Zoom, it's easy to be distracted. You have like your
Yeah.
kids screaming in the next room, or,
Right.
your husband's like stealing the bandwidth and your screen is,
Right. Thanks. Yeah.
but when you're in person, you're more engaged. And of course, it's usually fun to be out with someone. Like, I just feel like the experience is so much greater when you see them in person. And I have to be reminded because I am naturally an introvert. I know, newsflash to people. I have to be reminded. And here's what I've noticed about myself. It's hard for me to get to the place, but once I'm
Yeah.
there, I enjoy it.
Right.
Right. So I just have
Because
to
you're
get there.
right. And how many times do you leave and you're like, oh my God, that was so fun. Why don't I do more of that?
Exactly. Exactly. So what I will do to trick myself is I book it out far enough first of all, I book it, right? So I'm
Okay.
committed, and I book it
Yeah.
far enough in advance, it doesn't seem like an imposition on what I have going on right now, right?
Good. Yeah. Yeah. You're not thinking. Right. Right.
It's not like tomorrow, it's like in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
and then I go because I'm one of those people that, like, I'm not gonna make a commitment and then back out. 'Cause it's
Yep.
just a thing, right?
Yes.
Maybe it's the Midwesterner in my family tree.
Right.
Do
Right.
not back out on obligations.
Is that what we do? Oh
Right?
my God. Um, that reminds me, I have a planner that every week you plot out. There's different. We all play different roles in our lives, right? So a CEO, I play marketing, but I'm a wife. I have a mother,
Mm.
and I have friends, and so it tells you that every one of those columns, what are the tasks that you should be doing? And what I've done is I always put family and I always put friends, and I make sure, like on the friends, a lot of times the task is set the next lunch or dinner date. And I rotate through the people I haven't seen in a while. And
Mm.
this has been a year now I've been doing this. And it really holds me to the next. Um, and I continue to feel that closeness to people, right? That it would probably be easy to be like, I'm busy.
That's so smart. Well, is that the 7 Habits of Highly Effective
No,
People
it's a
planner?
different
It
one.
sounds
It's
like
a
that.
different.
Well, so I have this little sticky note to remind myself. You can't read it, right? It's tiny, but
There.
it
Yep.
says connect, empower, and lead. And those are my 3 goals for the year. And I keep it here to remind myself
Nice.
connection's the top one,
Good for you.
right? To make sure as an introvert that I keep those. I don't go
Top.
into my little hole
Yeah. Yes.
because
Right.
I feel better. I have more energy. I get more excited. I get energy from people, right?
Same. Yep.
Even though even though going to like a party or something, it does wear me out. I'm glad that I
Sure.
went because I had those connections.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, I have
I
to just
get
remind
it.
myself, you like this, remember?
And it's healthy for you.
Yeah, it is healthy for you. Like, yeah, going back full circle to where we started,
Yeah.
the Blue Zones book, if anyone has read it, about the healthiest, longest living people on the planet, one of the 8 tenets of what they do is that they have connections. They have the social structure. They have people around them, family, friends,
Yeah.
to because we do thrive off of each other. We do thrive in community.
Right.
Even if we want to think we're lone wolves. We thrive in community, and it gets us out of our heads too, especially for those of us
Yes.
who are naturally introverted and we just like do the loop,
Yeah.
right? If you can talk it
Yep.
out, someone gives you a totally different perspective and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Right. Right. Oh, this is good timing. My teenagers have told me a number of times lately, I'm in my head. I'm in my head. I can't sleep.
Mm,
And I think that's becoming more common, but it makes me think I've got to get them out. Like, okay, let's surround yourself with the friends then. Maybe
yes.
that's the sign, right?
So good. Now, I wanna make sure that people know about the wonderful free gift that you're offering and how they
Thank
can connect with
you.
you. So tell us.
Yeah. Yes, so on the link that is being shared, we have a free guide that we offer that will walk you through designing your own program, your own system for being intentional about building relationships with, your clients, your prospects, and everybody else that supports you in business. So I welcome you to go out to the website and grab that. And then, always here if you have questions, but this will help you design something for your own brand.
It's wonderful. I've downloaded it. I'm like, oh, this is some great information. And also, since they're going to this link, they could also check out your website and what you have to offer for
Yeah.
gifts because it makes it, like I said, they're really adorable. I so wish that I had kept one of the boxes because it's this really cute box and it
Oh,
comes with like the
thank,
adorable little stuffing and the way it's designed is just really beautiful.
thank you.
And people get it and they get really excited because it's one of those boxes that folds up
Like the
on the
pizza
hinges.
box. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it just it's gorgeous. So good job on
Oh,
that.
yay. Thank you.
Jamie,
Yes.
it has been so wonderful having you. Thank you so much for
Same.
sharing your knowledge with us today.
Thank you. Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh.
Thanks for having me. This is a great
Yes.
conversation.
Yay. All right. I'm going to drop you in the green room. Hang out, get a
Okay.
mocktail. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Oh my goodness. Was that not amazing? I am so excited for the information that Jamie just shared. Go ahead and grab her freebie because that was so cool. And I just want to remind you, how are you going to create a healthy, delicious lifestyle for yourself today? Until then, join me for another episode of Healthy, Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine next Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central, and have a healthy, delicious lifestyle. Thank you for joining me today. You can learn more about me, my products, and services at ingoodcleantaste.com. Be sure to join me for another episode every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific or 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on my globally recognized show, Healthy Delicious Lifestyle with Claudine.